Sarah's Tent in Deal, New Jersey, and I'm here as your commissioner, Sam Sutton, back for the 2023 season of M&S Brooklyn. Coming off a fantastic year we had last year, where Team SBH hoisted the trophy, and congratulations one last time to last year's champions, and that brings me to this year. But before we get into this year, I just want everyone to take a look around Sarah's Tent. Come on down. We have your Mazza every single day. We have a sandwich bar now. We're on Uber Eats. Do your Mazza platters. I deliver to Brooklyn every single Thursday. Shameless, not too shameless plug, but give me a call anytime. You have my number, and I'll be more than happy to deliver whatever your heart's content. We're here to help, here to serve the community, and without further ado, let's get into the 2023 draft. I have on these two pieces of paper the 6 teams we have this year, and each team I have a projected lineup, a projected defensive alignment. There are quite a few rookies, so I did my best. I know it's not perfect, but I'm going to try to rank the teams and try to go through each roster and discuss and really get to know each team. And again, without further ado, here we go. We're going to start with the Goblins. The Goblins are captained by the contingent of Morty Grazzi and Isaac Cohen and that entire crew. Last year, they brought, I believe the name of their team was the Sephardic Food Fund, and we did all the charity organizations as teams. And this year, they're bringing the Goblins, and I'm just going to run through their lineup by position, and then we're going to have a little bit of a 30, 40 second conversation about the team and where they stack up against everybody else. So leading off, playing center field, welcome back to the league, Albert Aldi, aka River Dweck. He is a veteran in this league. He played as a young kid, had a few breakout years. He crossed the border, went to a different league, but now he's back. Al played again also last year, but it's always good to have Aldi back in the fold. Aldi, consummate professional, Gold Glove caliber center fielder. One of those pesky leadoff hitters, perfect at the top of any lineup. Playing third base is Jack Mosseri. Jack Mosseri, in his sophomore year last year, had a really strong season. Back now batting in the 2-hole. Had opened up a lot of eyes last season. Now Jack Mosseri growing into a really nice player, batting second, playing third. Now, I think based on the shortstop availability, this pick right now, I know that Isaac Cohen and company traded up to get this and made sure and ensured that they took, I believe it was the first overall pick. I know they have some comfort with him because a few seasons ago they won the championship with him, but Shua Danny playing shortstop. Shua, one of the better upper echelon shortstops in the league, playing third. 2 years ago, he won the batting title, won the Rookie of the Year, up there with all the awards, MVP, you name it. So Shua batting third, it's a strong 1, 2, 3. Now, batting fourth, a rookie, but I know they have a lot of good things to say about him, is Kemi Mala. So I don't know much about Kemi, but I know there was a lot of scouting done going into the draft, and I know that this team was extremely excited that Kemi fell to them where he fell. He'll be batting fourth, so a lot of pressure on Kemi to start the season. I know they're going to start him off at short center field based on a few conversations that I had, but that is subject to change. I know he may see some time in left field, and Isaac Mizrahi, who we'll get to in a minute, he may go to short center field, but either way, Kemi Mala batting 4, playing short center field. Batting 5 is Morty Grazzi. Morty shows a lot of power. Morty, pretty much a dead pull hitter, but can definitely park a ball over the left fielder's head. And he'll be playing first base, showed he could handle the position very well. Batting 6 is Isaac Cohen's brother. Last year he tried to pitch, and we know he's a good hitter, but the pitching experiment didn't seem to work out, so he's going to go to a more comfortable position, play second base, and he's a good bat-on-ball type of hitter. So batting 6 in that lineup is pretty strong. Batting 7, Isaac Cohen, probably playing a little DH, a little first base. Also, Isaac grew into a really strong hitter last year, showed a lot of power, so helps round out that lineup. And then batting 8th in right field, rookie Ezra Levy. I cannot say I know much about him, but what I do know is that Ezra Levy is a world-class pickleball player. Yes, pickleball. That sport is spreading like wildfire, and if you want any pickleball tips, please go to Ezra. Batting ninth, catcher, Victor Shrem. I think Victor's been in this league for almost 10 years now. You know what you're going to get out of him. You can put him in the outfield if you need it. You can put him at short center. But the fact that he's catching definitely helps the squad tremendously. And then to round out that lineup, batting 10th is Isaac Bill Mizrahi. So Isaac, ton of speed. Last year, I think he got off to a slow start and it derailed his season. But if he gets off to a hot start, he's the type of guy that'll bat you a plus 500. And they got him in a great spot in the draft. And also on this squad on the bench, we have Moshe Cohen. He'll be roving around here and there. And then finally, to round out the squad, we have Jackie Schwecke. They got him late. We know Jackie can throw strikes, and Jackie's success is predicated on his outfield defense. So if the outfield defense is strong, we know he gives up fly balls. I think this team will be just fine. Jackie proved that he can win this league even at the age he is right now, and I think he has a couple more years left in him, but as long as their outfield defense is there, Jackie will be successful. That rounds out the squad. Obviously, they're going to need, that's going to probably be the X factor of the squad. If their outfield can handle the fly balls induced, they definitely have a bona fide center fielder. Left field, you have Bill, Isaac Mizrahi. He definitely can cover a lot of ground. They may have to go 4 across, so I may think that Kemi Mala is going to have to step out there just to solidify the outfield defense. However, I think this team's in a good spot. They have their positions covered. It's really based on their D of how far they're going to go. Because Jackie doesn't walk guys, and he can a little bit of a quick pitch in there, get guys off balance. You know, he's obviously the veteran of veterans, and we love him. That rounds out the Goblins, and now let's move on to the DT-led Costanza squad. Love the team name. Wait till you guys see the jerseys. If they're hilarious, shout out to Mocas. But this team, I like a lot. You have leading off on this squad, playing third base, is Albert H. Dweck. So now last year was an experiment with him at third base. He played on the Ralph Shama team, Super Smash Bros, I believe their name was. No, that was 2 years ago. But either way, last year, Albert H. Dweck proved he can handle the third base position. And he went from a guy that was, can I put him in the field? Can I put him at short center? Maybe at first. And he found himself a home at third. And we know he's a former batting champion in this league, so we know he puts bat on ball. So he's a great option to lead him off here to start him off. Batting second, playing first base is Captain DT. I know DT does have a shoulder issue, so that's preventing him from playing his more cozy second base or short center field position. But he's going to move to first base. DT's played all over the field. He's a Gold Glove wherever he plays. He's the consummate professional, the guy you want as captain, and the guy you hate facing as captain, may I add. So he's batting second. Batting third is Joey Batesh. Joey Batesh playing left field. I think he's better suited for left field than he was in center. Joey, one of the premier power hitters in this league. Ton of power, gap to gap. One of those guys will make you a sliding catch on the seat of his pants. Sometimes doesn't look so pretty, but he gets the job done pretty much for the most part. And every now and then he'll make a spectacular grab, even if he gets a bad break. But Joey, ton of power, very strong left fielder, great 3-hitter on the squad. Batting fourth, playing center field, the kid, Soli Esses, no longer that much of a kid anymore, but Soli growing into a star in this league. Still young, I believe he's 17 years old, but Soli playing center field, really nice 3-4 punch. Truth is, 1 through 4 in the squad is so far stacking up, it looks like the best. Batting 5, we have that catcher, David Masselton. I like that balance in the lineup, David. Really strong defensive catcher. Definitely can put a ball in the gap. Decent protection for Soli Esses. And then batting 6th at second base is Ness Hadef. Ness, pretty streaky hitter, but when he's going well, his team will be going well because that's just the way it is. He has that little bit of an edge to him, a little bit of an attitude to his game, so it's always exciting to watch a guy like Ness play the game of softball. And then batting 7th in right field, rookie Michael Goldstein. I'm not going to pretend like I know much about Michael, but I know DT seems to like him. And then batting eighth, playing shortstop, is Michael Mann. Last year, Michael Mann played an admirable shortstop for the Dan Braun team, and he was high on a lot of people's draft boards. He shows he has power. I believe he had a grand slam last year in a big spot, but Michael Mann showed he could be a big postseason hitter as well. But most importantly, handle shortstop, make some flashy plays. He's definitely a guy that you're not stuck with that short. He's a plus at the position. And then batting ninth, we have Eric Barsano. Is he related to Mark Barsano and former veteran first baseman Joey Barsano? I mean, he's got to be, and if it's in the name and it's in the blood, Eric probably will be a good player. He'll be in the outfield. And then we have Joey Hamway at short center field. And then their starting pitcher is Mark Cohen. I know Mark Cohen and DT, whether they're on the same team or they're facing off against each other, they always have words for each other. So that's sure to be entertaining no matter what happens. DT with Mark Cohen. But Mark has won in this league in the past. He's been dominant in this league in the past. And again, this team will go as far as Mark Cohen takes them. That's usually, you can say that about any Mark Cohen-led squad. And it's either he's striking out 12 guys or he's walking 7 guys. And sometimes there's no in between. But Mark can be dominant. I think in this league this year, he's going to have a very strong season. And then to round out their squad, another rookie, Ronnie Menashe. Ronnie, I know he's excited to play. He's chomping at the bit. I get texts from him all the time. So he seems like a ball player. So I can't wait to see this rookie crop. We have a lot of good ones. That is the Costanzas. And now batting third. The third squad is the Ralph Whamma Shamma team. The name of the team is called Joe Who. So I'm not really sure what the Joe Who is referenced to. I mean, you never know what's going on in Whamma's head. But leading off for this squad at catcher, never really see a catcher leading off, but I like it, is Michael Shicallo. Michael Shicallo, a.k.a. The Warehouse. He's a gamer. He's one of those guys that really should be up there for Gold Glove catcher every single year. Always backing up the throw at first base. Always in the right place at the right time. Framing pitches. But he also showed this past year that he's a hitter. So obviously they're leading him off. Batting 2 is Joey Hebrew Hammer Dweck. So Hebrew Hammer, you know what you're going to get out of him. He's a hard line drive. He can put the ball in the gap. Not the fastest guy out there to be batting 2, but definitely a guy that's going to be putting bat on ball a lot. Now, batting third, playing second base is a player I'm extremely excited about this year, is Isaac Chunk Antar. Isaac Antar last year was on a squad, was not on a squad, didn't show up. This year, he's all in. Got married this past year, he's all in. I know he can turn a double play with the best of them. He has great hands at second base. And Isaac Antar, I'm excited to see what he can do with the stick. Batting third, I know that means Ralph Shamma has a lot of high hopes for him. And now batting fourth is Neil Schwecke. Neil Schwecke last year also had a really strong year, played second base. This year's playing short center field. Neil Schwecke, turn the lights on. Neil Schwecke, good player, he's a gamer. And then batting fifth is the captain, Ralph Whamma Shamma. And I don't know if that's going to last, because Ralph Shamma, as we know, is not a power hitter, doesn't really have a strong on-base percentage or batting average, so I think that's going to change as the season goes. But Ralph Whamma Shamma will be playing shortstop. One thing you'll say about Whamma, the reigning Gold Glove winner, there's really not going to be a better shortstop defensively in the league this year, I don't believe. So it's his Gold Glove to lose. And then, an exciting component to this squad playing third base, power hitting Bernie Pindek. They're going to be relying heavily on Bernie Pindek, his offense, his power. So far, just looking at their squad between him and Hebrew Hammer, I think they're going to have to probably be going back-to-back in the lineup at some point. But then we lead to Aaron Levy playing left field. Last year on the SBH squad, Aaron Levy played a huge role in the postseason. Huge hit after huge hit, major postseason success. I know that's what led Ralph Shamma to be drafting Aaron Levy where he drafted him. But Aaron, my nephew, definitely can handle the outfield, and he's a lefty, and he has a really, really strong bat. Comes up tremendously, a lot of RBIs, high on-base guy. Very impressive year he had last year. Looking to build on that, obviously. Actually, one strong nugget that you should know about Aaron Levy is back-to-back years. His 2 years in the league, two-time world champion. Not many people can say that. Then we're going to lead to Leo Setton. So last year, Leo Setton had a very interesting overall season. In the spring, he was all-world, up there for Rookie of the Year, up there for MVP. And then he went to the Summer Night League in M&S and he scuffled. So which Leo Setton are we going to see? Are we going to see the spring version or the summer version, or maybe somewhere in between? I think that's the answer, somewhere in between. And then into their lineup, we have Jack Calabia playing right field. Not really so familiar with Jack Calabia's game. Excited to get to know it. And then at DH, we have Nathan Cohen. Welcome back to the league. Probably going to see some time at first base as well. And then at utility, Ovadia Machon, another rookie, one of the 30-plus rookies we have this year. Probably the most important player on their squad, and he was taken to their top 2-3, is Ray Sakal. Ray Sakal, former Cy Young in this league, former champion in this league, and Ralph Shama got excited. He's pretty set up the middle. He has in center field Leo Setton, as we saw he can handle the position. Ralph Sham at shortstop, and now we have Ray Sakal, starting pitcher. So he does have a pretty strong up the middle. He has a Cy Young caliber pitcher, and they're going to be heavily relying on him. I think they're going to go as far as Ray Sakal takes them. That's the first three teams, and now that we've finished the first three teams, we have three more to go. I'm going to introduce Max Sutton to help me break down the final three teams here at Sarah's Tent.
Hello, how are you, everybody?
And now we're going to straight up go to the Supersonics. Supersonics are captained by starting pitcher Dan Braun.
Wow. Well, the first name I see is exciting already.
Yeah, the last year's Dynamo superstar. But before we talk about Albert Cohen, Dan Braun, one thing you'll know about him, no matter what the team is, no matter what the squad is, he's always finds his way in the championship or in the Final Four. Whether it be on Mamba mentality, whether it be on his first year in the league with Old School, where he won the championship with Stephen Gindy. Just every year, Dan Braun, sometimes he has an unfair shake and one of his star players go down, but he always will draft a team, and he always has his team. It's due in part to Dan Braun, obviously, keeping his team in every game.
I think the common denominator is he's a control pitcher. He doesn't walk guys, and he does have sneaky speed.
Yeah.
And he can handle the bat. I mean, on and off there from what I saw. But he could handle the bat.
Oh yeah, last year he had a down year offensively, even in the spring. But like you said, he's always within the strike zone. He does induce guys out, which is important. But let's start with their lineup. Center field, in my opinion, potential MVP and one of the best players in the league is Albert Cohen in center field. Albert,
Fast, he's got pop.
He's what you call a 5-tool player.
Great attitude.
Love him.
And
Nobody
he's
better.
a fielder. Lay his body on the line.
No, and like you said, he's a winner. Got a winning mentality. Batting second, A.B. Anteby. A.B., I know Dan Braun was dancing where he got him in the draft. He fell, and look at him. He slotted him in the two-hole playing left field. He has power, he has speed, and he's only getting better as a player. That's A.B. Anteby batting second. Batting third is a Dan Braun specialty, Benji Eskenazi. Right. Benji will be playing shortstop. I know Benji has played catcher in the past.
Right, so that's an interesting flip to go from catcher to shortstop.
Well, I've seen him play shortstop. He definitely could play shortstop. There's not a question about it. I just think Dan likes pitching to him as his battery mate because he's comfortable with him.
Now, this Benji Eskenazi carries a bat?
Yeah, 100%. He's a good 400-plus hitter, but the fact that they got Vic Busu at the end of the draft enables them to put Benji at shortstop.
Already, you said it a few times about winners. Vic Busu is another winner.
Yeah.
So they pick guys over here that find themselves in the final two teams.
I'm a big fan of this Dan Braun squad. We're going to even get to a few more. Nissan Gordon, to me, was a snub at third base Gold Glove last year. I don't think you guys respected him enough on the ballot, put more respect on Nissan Gordon's name. He's batting fifth, playing third base. And Matty Kafka, I think he's due for a bounce back year. I think he had a down year last year, playing second, batting sixth. And then Albert Hamway with a ton of power at first base. Albert, we showed, he is an all-or-nothing type of bat, but last year he started to change that trend, and he started being more all, less nothing.
Now, is he going to be early in the lineup?
Well,
he's already batting. You have him.
he's batting seventh.
So that's a home run.
That's
Unintended.
This lineup looks good. And then Vic Busu batting eighth at catcher. David Feldman and Alazar Danny will be platooning in right field together in that ninth spot. And then Sam Mystery, rookie, and Ovadia Luz, rookie, rotating in that 10th spot at short center field. So
these rookies, the interesting thing about them is I think a lot of the captains didn't know much about them either.
Well, some of them they did. I heard afterwards. There were a lot of false reporting. I know
really?
guys got guys late and they were excited about them. So, for
these
example,
rookies could change the whole season. You mentioned 2 or 3 rookies on the Ralph Whamma Shama team as well. One of those guys ended up being diamond in the roughs. That changes the whole.
There always is going to be a few busts, and there are going to be a few booms, and that's just the case when it comes to rookies. Even if they're talented, the adjustment into the league is always something new. And then that's the end of the Supersonics. I mean, I really like their squad. They look like one of the top tier teams in the league at this juncture. But now
I like it that if A.B. Anthony, you made it sound like he's a real left fielder.
It definitely is.
They're
definitely
up the middle setup. And they have a balanced lineup, it looks to me.
Yeah, and they have some unknown rookies. And then now let's move on to the Lemonheads. Now the Lemonheads is captained by the contingent of Morty Shrem and Isaac Sasson at shortstop and center field. I call them co-captains because they're the new age version of Joe S. and Stephen Gindy, where if one scratches each other's shoulder, like without them even asking, because they know, they're just like very much everything must be done together, which I had a few choice words for them about that, but it's all water under the bridge. But here's the question. Leading off for them is a guy that we saw last year for the Food Fund, can handle the bat, and he's one of the better hitters in the league in Joey Sakal. That's younger brother of Ray Sakal.
Right. Wow.
Now, Joey Sakal last year came in to pitch on relief when Mark Cohen was out, and he actually did pretty well. That leads him into his position.
Earned himself a spot.
He's a starting pitcher in this league, leading off, and I know he's excited. I see him every Tuesday night in the center. He's in great shape, and he's young, and I know it's in his blood, so I don't see why he won't be successful at starting pitcher. He's athletic enough, and he's done it before, and he's a hitter. So
how much younger than the brother is he?
I think I got to check the registration sheet, but what is he, 18, 19? He can't be that old. Yeah. Then batting second, shortstop, Morty Shrem. I know he's going to have some choice words for me about calling Ralph Shama the Gold Glove favorite for his to lose, but Morty's right up there usually, makes every play.
I think you're right. I think I'll give Whamma the edge.
Well, he's the reigning Gold Glove winner.
He's longer, he's lankier.
Right. He is. Listen, Whamma, he has no speed, but he's got everything going for him shortstop defensively.
He's a better hitter than him.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Whamma is a 250 hitter. If you want.
Show me something with the bat.
Yeah, I know.
He's hitting more like his mom, not his dad.
It's true. His dad used to be a hell of a hitter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then batting third, Isaac Sasson. Isaac in this league is a star. There's no other way to put it.
Isaac has sneaky power. And I'm saying sneaky because he doesn't have the build.
No, he has that weird hitch in his step when he swings with the kick.
But he can hit the ball.
He puts the ball in the gap, right, left line, right field line, left field line. Very big fan of Isaac Sasson.
The first three in this lineup is all speed.
Yeah, Sakal, Shrem, Sasson.
Yeah, a lot of speed.
Then there's no speed batting four, but Danny Shabbat is a perfect cleanup hitter.
And his job isn't to have speed.
Right, his
job is to clean up those bases.
Set the table, get Danny Shabbat up, playing catcher. He's got a ton of power, up there with the most power in the league.
Last year in the Summer Night League, it took him a week or two. People were ready to bench him and kick him out, but then when he turned it on,
he's a hitter.
He ended up being the best hitter on that team.
And he's a high fastball hitter, so you give him a high fastball, he'll turn on it. And then batting fifth is the Rookie of the Year candidate, might be my pick.
Hearing a lot of good things about this boy.
Slotted in left field, maybe short center. Let's see how that shakes out. But Jeffrey Dweck.
I don't know anything about him, but I had 4 or 5 phone calls telling me this kid is a future star.
Yeah, I heard a lot. I heard more.
Let's see.
Everyone, and they knew him also. When they drafted him, they loved him. So I think he's going to have a good year. And then welcome back to the league. Batting sixth is Zool.
Used to be the batting champ, right?
Yeah.
Zool was high on base, then he fell off a cliff a little bit.
No, then he had a good year, bounce back year when he came back, and then last year he didn't play. Zool's in great shape anyway. He plays basketball.
He's a character. He's a lot of fun for a team. And is he looking for his first championship?
Did he win that last year? I don't think so. I think he's still looking for that championship.
He's still eyeing for that first championship. And hey, if you keep playing and you're a good player, sooner or later it could happen. This looks like a nice squad.
Yeah, they're definitely a good squad. Then you have Eli Harari at third base, great defender. And guess what? Eli Harari in a pinch can go to left field, go to right field, go to center field, second base. He's super duper utility and line drive hitter through and throughout. Then Robert Batesh playing first base. I know last year they wanted him on their squad, but didn't work out. So they get more of their boys, more of their vibe going along. And then you have Leo Tabelli in probably playing second base or short center field with Morris Moko Cohen with a lot of power.
He's got to watch those legs.
Yeah, he's popping his hamstrings. But either way, Leo Tabelli is a rookie, so I don't know much about him. Joseph Cohen, another rookie, don't know much about him. And then Alex Taub. I'll tell you one thing about the trajectory of Alex Taub's career. He started off as a lower tier player. Last year he proved he can play the outfield well. Not good, well. He'll track down any fly ball, and he's only growing as a hitter, getting stronger. Alex Taub, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but he's definitely not a minus in the field. He's actually can be a plus.
So I'm looking at this team. You have two guys slated for left, which really means one of them's going to right. Either maybe it's Alex Taub going to right, because he had Jeffrey Dweck as maybe the short center fielder, left fielder. My question here is if Jeffrey Dweck has the hands that people think he has, maybe Eli Harari should go to left field.
So he may.
Jeffrey at third.
I'll tell you one thing, Morty Shrem is extremely familiar with Eli Harari's game. They play against each other every night in Coyle.
I love Eli at second base. I don't love him at third.
Well, you did win a championship with him at second base.
Yeah, no, at second base, he's awesome. Third base, I'm not as, so if Jeffrey maybe has the tools to play third, that might be a move just to make Ellie more valuable.
I mean, let's see. Wait and see on Jeffrey Dweck. I have no idea. And then finally, to round out the squads, is the captain contingent of the brothers, hence the name Band of Brothers, Mark and Albert Richter.
Ooh, lefty and righty.
Lefty, righty. So now it's interesting. It looks like in center field they have Louis Haber. I don't know, that might be subject to change, I'm not sure.
Well, Louis could catch a fly ball.
No, I know he can, but I don't think this is, I made up their this.
Oh, okay.
It could be, I have no idea.
He's not usually a natural center fielder.
But I think he is leading off. This is all, again, this is my guessing. It could be completely off, but this is how I would put it down. Then you have Albert Richter at shortstop. Albert, always on the rise as a player.
Always in great shape.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude also. Albert, he wants to win.
And when I've seen that guy, he only played in our night league, I think, once. He started a little light, and then he hit at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think he won. He won Player of the Week in the semifinals to take his team for Save On Metrics to the World Series.
So he can swing the bat when he's locked in. And then his brother has been a tale of two brothers.
So
I've seen him be the best player in the league.
So I'm only going to base Mark Richter's numbers of Brooklyn League. The last 4 years of Mark Richter in the Brooklyn League he's far and away he saves runs at first base defensively. There's nobody better. And as a lefty hitter, he has weeks where he goes 8 for 11 with 5 doubles.
Okay, so if he's going to be that,
he does it.
He's validity of one of the best players.
He's a top 2 round guy. There's no way around it. And then batting fourth, Little Poppy, really good player, Elliott Seton. They're lucky to have him in left field where they got him in the draft. And he's only getting better and stronger. And he's 6'3", 200 pounds.
He maybe end up in center?
Very possible he is their center fielder. Let's see. And then you had Albert Manopla in right field.
Also has some pop.
No, he has a lot of pop.
Yeah, he can hit.
And he gets the job done in right field. I'm not going to say he's a Gold Glove candidate.
Hold your breath a little bit, but he usually makes those plays.
He makes the plays. Over here I have A.B. Anteby in center field. I don't know how that works. Let me go check on that. A.B. Anteby. And then I have Daniel Bilderici, rookie at third base. Ike Salem had a great year for the World Championship SPH team last year at second base.
Love hearing that he was a champion, so he knows what it takes.
Not only
part of the team that won.
Not only is he a champion, he was a key part of their run. Like, he was a really good player for them. Got married this past year, and he loved the league, and he came back. I think he's one of the first people to register. So, love you, Ike. Welcome back. And then you have David Shrem, that's Victor Shrem's brother at catcher.
Okay,
Isaac Smuha, a rookie. I don't even have a position over here. I don't know what position he plays. Isaac Cohen at second base.
Good hitter.
No, that's different. Different Isaac Cohen. This is Nathan's brother.
So it might be a good hitter.
No, he's a good player. And then Freddie Hittery on the bump, starting pitcher. And the theme about the pitchers in the league this year is There's not going to be a lot of walks. Maybe Mark Cohen will be, but they're all a bunch of control pitchers.
So something about Freddie Hickory that we know in history, his outfield needs to be good.
Like Jackie Schwecke.
Yes, he induces high fly balls. So Pinopola and Seton and Louis Haber can get the job done. These guys will compete. My fear about this team, to me, on paper, even though I don't know them all, they seem a little quiet. The Richters are not loud.
No, so Albert Richter is loud. Mark is
loud.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah,
very.
like I feel like they need that rah-rah. They need that mojo. You need that camaraderie. And I hope they're not just a vanilla team. So that's my only thing looking. Again, I don't know all the players, but the few that I know.
Freddie Hickory makes his voice heard also. Don't worry about Freddie. Either way, let's look at these squads right now.
Freddie Hickory has to. You gotta have size 8.5 helmet.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
Either way, those are the 6 teams. I think it's silly to do predictions of where these teams are going to end up.
No, they're nice teams. They're well balanced. I'll tell you, it looks like everybody drafted very well.
Yeah.
I love that up the middle on every team looks very set up, and I'm excited.
Listen, when it comes to teams like this and a league like this, I think you got to give the edge to the starting pitchers until proven otherwise. So
I
I
also
think,
say veterans.
yeah.
I think veterans get a major edge in situations like this here.
So I think the Joe Who team with Ray Sacal has got to be my favorite, only because of Ray Sacal.
Bernie Pinnick's a real hitter.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, Aaron Levy.
Chunk's a good player. They have a good team. I mean, the jury's still out on a few of these young guys, these rookies. I don't know who they are, but
I think a rookie is going to change the whole show. There's going to be a few rookies that take this whole thing and just turn it topsy-turvy.
I think my number 2 squad are going to be the Lemonheads, even though Joey Sacal's that pitcher. I just like the makeup of their team.
That's also because they have that, like we said, that camaraderie,
Right. And
that
then
togetherness.
Third, I'm going to give Dan Braun's squad, the Supersonics, that edge. Those are my top 3 teams in order. I think the Bandit Brothers outfield is suspect. I think that's going to have to prove me wrong, and they're going to have to step it up. The Goblin squad, Jackie Schwecke's their pitcher. They have a good team. Kemi Mao is going to be a good player, and I like their core. I just got to see it. I got to see their outfield produce.
Yeah. Also,
defensively.
When is the age going to really catch up to Jackie? I mean, he gets the job done. He throws strikes. He competes. He's a competitor just as much as anybody in the whole community. But God bless his heavenly soul.
I mean,
he's 60.
Right, he's not young. He's not young.
There.
And then you have the Costanzas, who their starting pitcher is Mark Cohen with DT, which is always a funny combination. But Mark Cohen with DT, they have a good squad. Albert Dweck showed he can play third base. Joey Patesh can play left field, and he's a bopper. Saul Yessis is a good center fielder, and he has power. However, and Michael Mann can play shortstop. So they have a lot of components, but will Mark Cohen take them there?
Right. It's up. If Mark is on, he's the hardest guy to hit in the whole world.
He's the X factor. I mean, he could flip my entire rankings up on their head. I could be wrong. However, until I'm shown wrong, I'm not going to choose them.
From what I hear, Mark's been on a heavy regimen, lifting weights, doing squats, and he's getting ready for the season in a big way.
That's a sight to see.
Yeah. So maybe that's something good.
That's the breakdown. I'm not going to make my World Series prediction. I think it's silly. We went through each roster, aside from the ABA to be questioned, which we had about TV's even on. I can check it up after. However, I think the teams are all pretty strong. I don't think there's one team that's that much better than the first place team is not that much better than the last place team, and that's a recipe for a good league.
It's always who gets hot
at the right time. Right, defensively.
You start light as long as you find your way. That's a big thing here. And you got to tread water.
Right.
Tread water early is key. You don't want to go 5.
The season is set to start last week of March, weather permitting.
March 26th.
And
2 weeks away.
Then we're going to be off for 2 weeks for Pesach, and then the season resumes after that, and it runs through till the end of spring, and then let's get this party started. It was looking forward to seeing you all in the field. Looking forward.
We pray for great weather.
And one last thing, important announcement that I almost forgot. This year, as many of you may know, I did move to New Jersey.
I'm happy about that.
I will be very much a part of the league now and going forward. However, I did bring on my good friend Ralph Mendiel to help me run things as boots on the ground for a day-to-day basis.
Now, Ralph is experienced in leagues.
Right, you know,
He's done it in the center.
That's
he's done
why
basketball leagues.
That's why I thought that the marriage worked, because he has run multiple leagues before. Like you said, in the center, he has experience with officiating.
He's played in our leagues.
Right, he knows.
Played in the night league for a bunch of years.
He gets it. Ralph.
He knows what we like to do.
So either way, Ralph is going to be the day-to-day guy. I'm going to introduce Ralph to the captains and the captain's chat, and all these questions. Again, I'm still here. Don't worry about it.
Rules committee was still part of it.
Yeah, I'm still very much there, but Ralph is going to be the data guy. He's going to be starting to slowly but surely helping alleviate some responsibilities. And welcome aboard, Ralph. And
Very excited.
Welcome to the fold, and looking forward to having a fantastic year. Once again, live at Sarah's tent. Again, we deliver on Thursdays to Brooklyn, and Mazat platters and Mazat every day of the week, sandwiches, you name it. Food is fantastic. Thank you very much for your time.
Stop in and say hello.
Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you all on the flip side.